Alright. I got this. It just came to me right now. It's an amazing idea. I have to share it with everybody. It's a movie idea. I think it could be like the next blockbuster. Alright, here we go. Scene opens up. It's like the desert. There's like stuff. There's like sand and there's camels and there's like guys going in the background and stuff and digging like Indiana Jones shit. And then all of a sudden, there's this French archaeologist dude, and he comes in. He's like, "Oh, what are we looking at today? Some Sumerian texts, blah blah blah." And then like this little assistant's like, "Yes, sir. Here we go. Let's go this way." And he like pushes him over, and he's like, "What?" But they will get that. They're not really important characters. They're just to establish the story. Then all of a sudden, like the French guy is like, he's in this chamber and he's dusting away some dust, and he's sweeping away, and he's reading this text, and it's like, he's reading it out loud, and he's like, "You better record this, Jamie." Jamie's the little English boy that he pushed down, but they're not important because they're just setting up the story. So anyway, he's like, "You better record this down." I mean, flippity bip, French, and it's dusting stuff off, and all of a sudden he's reading, like he says, "Oh, there's a great horrible thing in the world, and it will be called," and he dusts this off, and he sees like a stone swastika, and he's like, "What? What the hell?" Oh yeah, by the way, at the beginning it'll say like the desert, like 1920, and like, but it's like there's Nazis that existed before the other Nazis, like with wizard Nazis and shit. And that's where Adolf Hitler gets the idea, because this guy is like best friends with him, and he gives him all these studies and stuff, and then he brings back well anyway, then it like goes like a flashback, and then there's like wizard Nazis, and they're ruling over like Babylon and shit, and they're flying on dragons and fuck, and like they have really big hats, like the wizard hat, like a Gandalf hat, but it had swastikas on it, and all the dragons, they have swastis. And they're flying around like Heil, Sieg Heil and shit. And then like there's this one guy, and I think Paul Walker should play him, and he's the main hero, and he basically is like, "Oh, they're killing all these people. They're killing Jews, even though they don't have Jews. We'll call them like the Bloobs." Scroobs, I don't know. I'm still in process. Just came up with this, and then like he's like, "I gotta stop this shit," and he gets up all in there, and he's got like some guns and shit, because he's from the future. He's trying to stop him, and like there's robots and explosions, and he's running up these huge stairs, and he finally kicks down the door, and he sees Hitler there, and it's like Hitler. Regular Hitler from like the 40s, like with the time machine open, and then like this wizard that looks exactly like Hitler, but he's got a mustache instead of this mustache. He's got a really long one that goes down, and he turns around and flips all up in the air, and Paul Walker's like, "You Nazi fucks," and then the wizard Hitler changes into a big like elephant. And then the 40s Hitler jumps on top of his back, and they're riding towards Paul Walker. But Paul Walker, he knows he's from the future, and he actually, right at that moment, jumps out of the time machine. Another him jumps out of the time machine because he knew about this, and like strangles or gets behind the elephant and takes it down, and then they both just start, like beating the crap out of Hitler. And they're like, "This will never happen," and then they blow up the Hitler, the base, and then they go back home, and they're like, "Oh sweet, this is awesome, woo! Oh, now there's two of me now, woo! All right." And then the Holocaust never happened, and all the guy in the 20s, it goes right back to him, and same thing as he's like dusting stuff off, and then all of a sudden, like when he comes to the swastika, like everyone's like, "Oh, here comes the swastika," dusts it all away, and then it's a picture of Paul Walker's face. The end.